Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good holiday weekend. Hope everyone is staying safe. Memorial Day weekend is usually, traditionally, the start of the summer season. So you all have fun and stay safe out there. I've got some news, and I want to apologize. I was so tired the other night that I did not read the article that I was sent. And of course now I'm getting a bunch of people sending me the article and say, hey, did you see this? Yes, the source, one of our sources gave it to me and I put it on our website. I just didn't remember to read it when I did the video the other night. So anyway, I am going to mention that yes, that I will put the link down below to our website. That article is on there and I am going to read it real quick. Trial schedule for Jehovah's Witnesses elders accused of failing to report sexual abuse. Now this case is really important because it may set a precedent now for these elders who do not report CSA. And the paper is dated Thursday, May 27, 2021. Two Jehovah's Witness elders accused of failing to notify police that a congregant was sexually abusing a child are scheduled for a joint trial in July. Jehovah's Witness elder Michael Pincava, 72, of Crystal Lake, and Colin Scott, 87, of Cary, were charged in November with violating reporting provisions. Both men are accused of failing to notify police about a church member who later was convicted of sexually abusing a child. The abuse continued for more than a decade after the church elders became aware of the accusations, prosecutors have said. This article is actually well researched and very, true about what is going on. This reporter did a very good job on this. A judge on Wednesday denied a request to exclude testimony regarding potentially confidential meetings between church leaders and the now convicted man. Questions surrounding the potential confidentiality of those meetings could arise again during trial, however, said Pincava's attorney, Philip Prosnitz. Ultimately, it was deemed premature to bar the potential testimony Wednesday without knowing what that testimony might have revealed, Prosnitz said. We feel pretty confident that the testimony that the judge is going to hear it is as we've portrayed it, but at this stage in the proceedings, it's mere argument, Prosnitz said. The charges against Scott and Pincava are rooted in another man's sexual assault conviction. Accusations against that man, 43-year-old church member Arturo Hernandez Pedraza, surfaced during a confessional or spiritual guidance setting, says Prosnitz and attorney Terry Elkel, who represents Scott. In 2019, a jury convicted Hernandez Pedraza of all counts of aggravated CSA assault, predator, criminal sexual assault, criminal sexual abuse, sexual relations within families, and domestic battery charges filed against him. He currently is serving a 45-year prison sentence at Pontiac Correctional Center. Pincava invoked his right as a religious leader to not testify at Hernandez Pedraza's trial, but he still was required to answer questions about actions the congregation took after learning of the sexual abuse more than 10 years before it was reported. See, and that's why these elders are in trouble, because they knew about it and did nothing. They did not report it. And even in the motion in limine that they filed, they're blaming Watchtower for giving bad legal advice to them. And I'm going to mention, these elders and their attitude, some elders and their attitude here in just a few minutes. Because the accusation surfaced during a confessional, Pincava and Scott's attorney now argue that the disclosure should be considered privileged communication between faith leaders and congregants. No, because the 2002 amendment to the statutes in the Illinois statute says that they are mandatory reporters. That means It is their responsibility to report this. Assistant McHenry County State's Attorney Ashur Yoash, however, said that privilege doesn't extend to situations involving abused or neglected children and isn't grounds for failure to report. By adding members of the clergy to the list of mandated reporters, the legislature intended that clergy report instances of child sexual abuse of which they are made aware. Yoash wrote in April 16 court filing, and I did a video about that back then. On July 27, 2006, Pincava, an elder of the Kingdom Hall Crystal Lake Spanish congregation, was made aware of a possible instance of child sexual abuse. At minimum, Scott and Pincava could have reported the girl's name and address to police without divulging the contents of any religious confession, Yoash said. And he's absolutely right. You know, like I mentioned in the video the other night. You can even do it anonymously. Illinois passed the Abused and Neglected Child Reporting Act in 1975 and in 2002 amended it to include members of the clergy as persons responsible for the child's welfare, prosecutors argued in their written motion. And that motion was brilliant because also in that motion they mentioned that, you know, Watchtower and the defendants cannot interpret the law to suit them. It was brilliant. McHenry County Judge Mark Gerhart also denied Prosnitz and Scott's request to quash a subpoena that sought all documents, reports, minutes generated by the Judicial Committee formed for Arturo Hernandez. That committee, Prosnitz wrote, is a part of the Jehovah's Witness confessional process. Any subsequent conversation between Hernandez Pedraza, church leaders, and the victim's mother were therefore confidential since they were part of the spiritual counseling process, Prosnitz said. According to the attorney's April 6 motion, the Jehovah's Witness confessional process includes the following steps. First, if an allegation of a gross sin, such as child abuse, arises, two elders confront the accused, and if that individual confesses, the matter moves on. Once a confession is provided, a judicial committee of 3 elders meets with the accused to reestablish his confession and then determine whether he is repentant. And we know that is the process. This is entirely internal ecclesiastical process, Prosnitz wrote. If the elders believe the law may require a report to authorities, the elders contact the church legal department according to the motion. Now we know in the elders book and the elders in their schools, they are instructed to contact the legal department if there's an allegation. They do that first. Both men's cases are scheduled for trial by judge on July 28th. So that is the newspaper article. And also I want to mention that Watchtower has submitted the final draft of their presentation to the town of Ramapo. And I am going to put the link down below to that. It's the document right at the top. It's a PDF of this whole presentation they did the other night. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because many of us are working behind the scenes. That's all I'm going to say. And I want to thank Nellie so much. May 18th, 2021, there was another case filed. Lexington in the Cleveland County of Oklahoma, and it is with the United States District Court for the Western District of Oklahoma, and it looks like it is another abuse case. My goodness. Now, Watchtower Bible Tract Society's defendant, Christian Congregation, Jehovah's Witnesses, Christian Congregation, Jehovah's Witnesses in it's handwritten. It looks like Muskogee, Oklahoma. And an elder is also mentioned in this. And so I will put the link down below. My goodness, you just can't even keep up with this. Can't keep up with all of this. Now, I also want to mention, thank you to our source. Thank you very much. This is from May 20th, 2021. Watchtower has settled with BMG rights management. Now that was over the legal rights and copyright infringement of their song. Now we were going to do a video with a singer-songwriter, XJW, and she had bought the legal rights to that song too, and she was going to do it just to prove, you know, that you can do this. And she happened to get a letter from Watchtower, imagine that, asking her not to. So, you know, that's why we didn't go any further with that video, because there's been some things going on behind the scenes. But this is Daniel Patrick Moynihan, United States Courthouse in New York, regarding the Watchtower Bible Tract Society of Pennsylvania versus BMG Rights Management. Dear Judge Crody, we write to inform the court that the parties have entered into a confidential settlement agreement resolving the claims set forth in the complaint. Pursuant to the terms of the settlement agreement, plaintiff's counsel is expected to file a formal notice of dismissal no later than June 4th, 2021. The current deadline for defendant's response to the complaint was May 19, 2021. In light of the parties' settlement, defendants would like to avoid the cost associated with responding to the complaint and request, with the consent of counsel for plaintiff, that no default be entered prior to June 4th, 2021. And it's the lawyer. So, of course, we will probably never know how much the settlement was for. But I'm sure Watchtower got a chunk of change for, you know, that copyright infringement. Oy vey. Now I also want to mention there have been some updates on the Rowland and Schultz case versus Watchtower in Montana. And I'm going to put the link down below to that. And I did not know that one of the plaintiffs, Schultz, lives here in Taos County, New Mexico. So, like I said, I'm going to put the link down below. On the documents, when they have everything going on, there is a little blue box that will say download PDF. Other documents, you need a Pacer account and to pay, like, for each document. But sometimes if you wait a little bit, something that wasn't available for free will become available. Now the last thing that they are showing is May 26, 2021. Terminate motions and order setting hearing on motion. And so, you know, that is still going on. So I'm going to put the link down below to that also. Now I'm also going to put a link down below, thank you Atlantis very much, to the TampaBay.com News Florida Politics. And they're talking about a race, political race that is going on in this area. Now the name of the article is Darden Rice maintains fundraising lead in St. Petersburg mayor's race. Now why this is interesting, because when you scroll down to the bottom, bunch of ads, where it says candidates scramble for D1 race, right above that there is a couple of paragraphs, and they're talking about one of the candidates, Figueredo, Figueredo. 33, has never voted and didn't register to vote until November, 2 days after the 2020 election. He says that's because he and his family are Jehovah's Witnesses who shun involvement in politics. He calls himself an entrepreneur, not a politician. He has worked in payroll for 2 local companies and has started a company that will make open source payroll software for international companies, but said he expects no revenue from that company and earns a living as an investor in digital currency. He said his views are conservative. My intention with running is to bring the American dream back. So he himself admits he's a Jehovah's Witness. So now the Jehovah's Witnesses are getting involved in politics? Oy vey. You know, and it says he has started a company that will make open source payroll software for international companies, but he expects no revenue from that company? Well, then why even bother? And it also makes me wonder, is it a company that a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses are starting, you know, to where it's going to benefit Watchtower and, you know, slave labor. But I'm going to put the link down below to that. I also want to mention a new YouTube channel, and I am going to put the link down below to a video she did. Alright, her channel is called Infinite Light, and I haven't had a chance to watch many of her videos. But she has one here. It's called XJW, the Watchtower Company Darkness Disguised as Light. Now, the reason I bring this channel up in this particular video is because it appears that her family know a lot of the higher-ups in Watchtower. I mean, if they have pictures of her parents with the governing body, you know, she would have this information. Now, we have known about this information, but some of it we haven't done videos on because we didn't have absolute proof. But she mentions the Fishkill residences that Watchtower is building now. And these are homes, you know, the rumor we heard, they are like expensive homes that are going to be for, you know, witnesses in good standing. And I know of a JW in Arizona that is a multimillionaire, and she told her daughter, well, you know, we may not be here, we may be going somewhere else. And the daughter says, well, where are you going to be going? And she says, well, I would sell my house, and Watchtower has a place for us. So, you know, we've been hearing little stuff like this, you know, in the residences. She also mentions vacation homes that Watchtower has all over, that, you know, governing body and the higher ups, you know, can go take vacations. And she also mentions nursing homes. Now, we have done several videos on the Jawjeree homes, nursing homes. If you go to our channel and click on our homepage of our YouTube channel and click on playlist, and scroll down, you will see Jawjeree. And we've done several videos on this Jawjeree nursing homes and how you have to be in good standing. They're very expensive. And some of them even have kingdom halls right in the residences. So, you know, we knew about those for sure because, like I said, we had all the evidence, and we've got clips and websites and infomercials and everything that they have done. Now, getting back to these vacation homes, years ago, I think it was maybe even on our first channel, and if I can find it, if we put it on this channel, you know, I will put the link down below. But Watchtower bought a mansion over in the UK. Now, we did a video about this. This mansion was Gwynlain, Gwynlain, Holyhead Road, Bangor, UK, and they paid £910,000 for this. And it was bought by the International Bible Students Association, the IBSA House, Ridgeway, London. So we know that was Watchtower. But I mean, this mansion was just incredible. You know, it was like 5-bedroom, 5-bath. It was huge, and it's right on the water. Great vacation spot. Yeah, it is a 5-bedroom freehold detached house. It is ranked as the second most expensive property in the postal code of LL572HQ. Since it was last sold in April of 2014, its value has decreased by £31,000. And of course, they have a picture of it here. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, since then, Watchtower has sold it for over £1 million. I don't remember offhand, what they sold it for. But I mean, it's huge. Huge. And megabucks. Megabucks. Now, I also want to mention there's a channel, The One Bun. Thank you, Asher, very much. I'm going to put the link down below to this. This is very disturbing. They have a fully indoctrinated elder talking to a Bible student. And the things they are talking about and telling this Bible student, this is why elders are throwing themselves under the bus. Watchtower isn't going to defend an elder like this. No, not at all. But just listen to this clip.
So, going back to the thing that I asked you earlier about the the protections and stuff for children, do y'all do y'all actually have a specific policy? What if say, I don't know, there was a kid that was, it was discovered that they were being harmed by one of the people in the congregation. Do they kick that guy out, or how does that work? They call the cops?
That is such a touchy subject, and I'm very familiar with it because that's where I was kind of starting to go earlier. I've been an elder since 1990, so
yeah, but it's important. It's important to me.
Much.
Yeah,
no, I understand. If you go on the website,
I'm on it right now, actually.
Do the search, and I think search for child abuse.
Oh, okay. They have a section on it. That's good. Let's see here.
And the first one, I think, will be Legal Resources, Jehovah's Witnesses, Scripturally Based Position on Child Protection.
Okay. That's good. Okay, so this will tell me how they handle it and when they call the police and all that stuff, and how the legal proceedings go after that.
Yeah, so we're not a legal organization. We're a spiritual organization.
Right. No, I know you're not litigious. It's usually not normal for a religion to, be involved in that kind of in the law and stuff. But presumably, let me
walk you through a situation.
Right. Okay.
And I've been through a number of them. We have a legal department up in New York that wants to make sure that all of this is handled correctly.
Good.
So early on, we had a situation come up. Our instructions as elders are we immediately call the legal department. As soon as we hear of something, we immediately call the legal department. We don't handle it on our own. We don't make any decisions. We call.
Oh, okay.
And
they call
part
the
of the
cops.
reason for that is, well, it depends. And here's why. The laws are different based on where you are and based
true.
on the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
I've had situations where I called the legal department and they said, okay, you need to report this.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, you need to go to a payphone. We want you to take another person with you as a witness. We need you to take a record. You're going to report this anonymously, but you need to get the badge number and information and everything for the person that you report it to. On other situations, they've said, okay, things are a little different now based on the legal situation in that area. You need to go to the Kingdom Hall, have two of you there, make a written record, report this, make sure and give them your name. And it's not based on what we want. It's all based on the legalities of what is expected or required where we are.
All right. So just as closely as you guys follow the Bible, you try to follow the law too.
Absolutely. If we go and we report something and we're not required to report it, then we could be breaking, I think they call it clergy privilege, or something like that. So, you know, we're a person who is a minister has a responsibility like a doctor, where you have patient-client privilege.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where he has to keep certain things quiet. So, say you have parents that come to you and tell you about this situation with their child, whose decision is it to report that?
Well, I mean, when it's a minor, I think, at least here in Texas, when it's a minor, you are required to report it regardless of what the parents say.
You know, this is horrendous. This is horrendous. So, you know, go listen to this entire thing. Grab it if you want and keep it, because this is the attitude of these fully indoctrinated elders. You know, of course, it's ours, the victim's fault. You know, they've asked for it. Good grief. It's just so infuriating. So, thank you, Asher, very much for sending me the link to that. My goodness. So, you know, welcome to all you new YouTubers. You know, I know we don't get a chance to, you know, find all of you guys and your videos and stuff. And Joe 4747, I still haven't been able to find your new channel, so if you are watching this and there's any way you can put the link down below, please, or send it to me or something. Appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of us who enjoyed your other channel would love to see your new videos. So, you all have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and we've got a lot of stuff that we're working on. You have a wonderful day. Bye.